It has been my own experience that masturbation brings disharmony to relationships and to life in general. When you meet your friends and hang out after having masturbated recently, there is an uncomfortable feeling in the air. It feels like a mild sense of shame, feelings of timidity, weakness. There is no single word to quite explain the feeling, but I guess many men have experienced this before. And this feeling seems to be felt by others too. Those around can sense something is off about you. Personally, I've had periods of life where I looked active and healthy, and other periods where I looked tired and run down. The times where I looked worse were also times that I suffered more socially, having less social connections and less favor in general within friendships and relationships. My best friendships came from periods where I was less sexually active and more socially active. I recall one year in my 20s where I lived alone and released often, and it was starting to become very visual in my face. I received negative comments about my skin complexion, my eyes, and shadows under them, flat cheeks, flaky eyebrows, and other things. I was looking weak. I hated photos and really felt so different and looked so different than a year or two before. I became aware that I was deteriorating, but had no clue what to do about it. I got to a point where I thought I was dying of some illness. Someone said I looked like I had jaundice. I was quite distraught, perhaps also because I was living alone and in a new place. I also had trouble meeting women at this period, and although I'd make a few new friends, I was struggling to connect with them and had also made a few enemies. At the end of this period, I moved towns and started living in a share house, where I had to share the room with another housemate, and as a result had almost no sexual activity for about 6 months. It was at this time things started to pick up dramatically. I worked hard at this job, and after 6 months I had saved a few $1,000s to move into my own apartment. I met a nice girl for the first time in over a year and started dating again. I made some new friends from work too and joined a gym. Life changed its course and started getting better again. Relationships started improving and I got into a new rhythm. I liked more how I looked in the mirror, and even though I was living alone again, this time I was working full-time, so my brain wasn't occupied on sex. I can say with certainty that periods where I was frequently sexually releasing were the periods I was on a downward trajectory in all facets of my life, and the periods abstaining I was put on an upward trajectory. It is so clear looking back on the numerous times in life that it makes total sense to me now. Sexual thoughts are draining the magic out of you. No one wants to look at a wilted flower, eat a rotten apple, or drink impure water. These are all signs of deterioration and ultimately death. Likewise, your own signs of deterioration appear when draining your energy, and these signal to those around you to stay away, to go elsewhere, and to overlook you. The world is deeply concerned with appearances, your appearance, not because it is shallow, far from it, but because physical appearance is a window into the being. It reflects how much energy remains, how much life force, and how much health, all of which go far beyond skin deep. Your appearance reflects the habits and lives of your ancestors, the ones that your body was molded from. A moral man living a moral life optimizes his appearance as he breaks no laws of nature, and thus gives the best opportunity to his offspring to become moral and beautiful. Some of you, of course, carry the burden of your ancestors' choices, and that is reflected in your appearance. They may have lived more immorally and passed aspects of that into your being. Yet you still have ample room to decide whether your own life will move towards beauty and purity, or towards immorality and destruction. The loss of one's seed is a sacrifice. Nature understands this, and to encourage the animal to make it, she has made the act of copulation itself physically pleasurable. In this way, the animal willingly participates in the ritual. Of course, this is a sacrifice of great necessity, for without this act, all life would cease to exist. And what does the animal do before engaging in this period of copulation? The animals sexually abstain in the off-season for many months to years beforehand in order to build resources and nutrition within the body. This is not my assertion, it is biological fact. It is in the off-season, the hibernation period, that animals regenerate, rest, and build up their own biological resources. How is semen retention any different? How is this not common sense? How can we say abstaining sexually has no effect on the man when wild animals have been abstaining since the dawn of time, in the off-season, to prepare their best seed for the mating season? You can say there is no proof of semen retention benefiting humans, but we can already see here how it benefits animals, so why would it be any different? And even in the cases where humans couldn't produce a seminal secretion, such as eunuchs and the entire female population, lifespan is significantly extended. More life conserved in your body will provide greater benefit to your own life. People see you as more valuable because biologically you are more valuable. You are more nutrified, less depleted, and simply more full of life. If you are finding living to be tough, if you are struggling to connect with others, if you are feeling worthless and unwanted by the world around you, consider semen retention. Conserve the resources of your own body and see how you feel about yourself. See how others feel about you, and see what it does to your life.